Welcome to the 20s podcast, and we have our beloved coach Subir, who is a fitness coach. And yeah, how is life going on lately, Subir?
Awesome, man. I mean, it's been great. I'm so happy to be on this podcast to, try something new with you guys. And I'm almost 30, so I think it's a good time to come, right? I'm 29 right now. So I think it's the perfect time to be on this podcast. And yeah, looking forward to what you want to, talk about today.
First, we'll speak about Subir's childhood.
I had a very good time. I had a very privileged childhood, I would say. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes, my parents were a little busy, they had a lot of work and maybe, they weren't there sometimes, because of work, but it's fine. I had my friends and, yeah, I used to be an introvert. I used to be a big introvert, which is it's surprising because of my job now, I have to talk to like hundreds of people on a daily basis. So, I mean, I've evolved through my job. I think my work, my career has literally made me an extrovert. It's forced me to be an extrovert. Where I used to be like this introvert who never used to even talk like to anybody, yeah. So it's a big change.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's about my childhood, I guess. Very privileged, very spoiled.
What got you into fitness?
What got me into fitness? I mean, to be honest, girls, man. Like,
Makes sense.
I used to be the skinny kid in college. I used to see all these guys getting attention, who had who used to go to the gym, and I wanted to be that guy, right? I want to be a guy who got that attention from females, and I wanted to be confident. I didn't have confidence. I used to be very insecure about my body. I used to be like super skinny, weak. I had no goals. I used to just drink and smoke up the entire day, pretty much. Right, I had nothing to look forward to in my day. So I think working out really gave me a structure, a routine. Confidence improved so much when I started working out. I could actually talk to girls. I could actually, I had that, confidence. Yeah, exactly. That just come, that rizz, Yeah, I started rizzing people up after working out and all that. So, yeah, man.
Interesting. How was your early 20s? That's the main question that everyone wants to know, because it's more about the 20s kind of a thing, where we are speaking more about how you can self-evolve yourself, know about your self-discipline. And this podcast is gonna help most of this teenage and this early 20 guys, like say me, him and all, so that we all aren't stuck in a place where we are still figuring out life. Did you also have those things when you were at the age of 20?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me when I reached my early 20s to mid 20s is that I think it was a big reality check. Because in my teenage, I used to feel like in my 20s, I would have been settled. I would have had the perfect job, maybe the perfect girlfriend. Everything would be settled. Everything was like, I had hope in my teenage, right? That 20s will be amazing. But then I realized that your 20s is where you figure who you are out. Because in your early days, you're just trying to learn, you're just trying to understand what this world is about. And 20s is where you're learning about yourself, what you like to do, what you don't like, what are your interests, right? What kind of job do you want? These are things you figure out about yourself. And I think it's been a journey of learning about myself more than anything in my, early 20s, right? Yeah. Because I had no idea. Like when I reached my 20s, it was like a shock. Like, who am I? What do I like? I'm so confused. Right, and I thought I would have figured everything out by now, but that's not the reality, and that's where my dream shattered, right? Where it was a reality check, I need more time to figure it out, and it's fine. Like for people who are in their 20s, early 20s, mid 20s, who are like, I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. I just want to say it's okay. It's totally normal to not know what's happening. Take your time and figure it out. There is no rush. Like nowadays on social media, you see these people saying, bro, 25 years you have to be a crorepati. Yes, you have to earn lakhs.
The matrix.
Right? Exactly. You should have 2-3 girlfriends, earn lakhs and you need to have everything. That's not true, guys. Like honestly, it takes time to figure out life. It's a journey, and be patient, enjoy it, and just go with it. Like don't try to rush anything. Don't try to force anything. Don't get influenced by these people online who are saying, you have to have everything figured out by the time you're 25. Yeah. That's not right. So that's the first realization I had. I would say in my initial 20s. I think I'm sure you guys also are going through the same thing right now.
Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
Still figuring out what.
Still
is
figure.
life.
That is what you figure. You learn about yourself more than anything. You learn who am I as an individual, right? Who am I emotionally, right? What do I like? What do I do not like? And I feel like one more thing that I'd like to talk about in my 20s is my emotionally how my relationship with my parents matured, right? Because in my teenage, I think I used to fight a lot with my parents. Both my parents, I used to like argue, shout at them, yell at them, fighting all the time. But in my 20s, I feel like slowly I started understanding them better. They started understanding me better, and our relationship matured in my 20s, like 21 to 28, I would say.
Okay.
Our relationship got even a lot more closer. Emotionally, we became a lot closer as a family than in my teenage, where it was just like fighting every single day, pretty much. You know, and I think you guys are also going through that transformation, right? Like,
I think that's when you get matured, like you understand your family responsibilities, your family duties, and you slowly start working around it. Yeah.
exactly. I think,
Calming down, that's what I am in the face. Being
Yeah.
mature with them and understanding them.
yeah, and see, that comes through fighting. A lot of people think, it'll be all peaceful. No, there's actually more fighting with your family in your 20s than teenage. But the thing is, after every fight, you understand them better. You get to know yourself better, and they also get to know you better. So you really become mature as a family unit in your 20s, which you didn't have in your previous, like teenage or even before that. So yeah, it's emotional maturity, gets better, I think.
Tell me about heartbreak. How does heartbreak fuel your fitness?
I think it's been a big motivate. I feel like it's something that I could fall back on. So I think whenever you're emotionally in an unstable place, you need something to keep you going till you get better, right? That can be working out. Some people turn to alcohol, some people turn to drugs, some people turn to, emotional, maybe friends, they just went, right? They have a support system with friends. So for me, it's always been exercise, it's been workout that helps me calm down emotionally. With heartbreak or any emotional instability comes a lot of anger, comes a lot of traumas from your past, like maybe you were rejected by a girl, or maybe, you've had previous heartbreaks, and you need something to kind of get your mind off of it, right? So I think working out is great. It helps you really calm down emotionally and like kind of ground yourself, right? And of course, self-improvement. A lot of people, when they have heartbreak, what happens is they stop working on themselves, their body, right? They're like, they just give up. They're like, what's the point? Now my life is over. Okay, this girl left me. But I would say, instead of doing that, why don't you start working on yourself? Why don't you start going to the gym, right? Focusing on meditation, right? Focusing on getting into solid routine, right? Because when you are strong, everybody wants you, bro. If you're weak, like, do you think any girl would want to be with you if you were a weak guy emotionally or physically? I don't think so. I wouldn't want to be with a girl who is, has those kind of issues, right?
Who's gonna carry the boats?
Exactly. I think especially if you're a guy, I mean, you have to physically and mentally be extremely strong for your family, for your friends, for your partner as well. So I think, like you said, that's how it's helped me with any heartbreak or any issues, right?
For me, I think I went through a heartbreak. It's been like a month.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and in the first few days was like I was lost. I'm like khatam, like everything is over. Now I'm like at my peak. I'm like happy. I'm like good. It's feeling good. I have so much motivation. Like it's like unlimited motivation now to get better.
Self-improvement.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And don't you feel like once you're doing that, you're attracting more people as well? Like as you work on yourself.
People like now they're like, what happened to him? Why is he different?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel in 20s most people should start self-loving themselves, because that's when you understand more about yourself. Because end of the day, there's one person who will always be in your life is yourself.
Oh, that is so true.
And see, relationships will come and go. You don't know when you will be happy. Yeah, when you'll be happy, when you'll be sad, you don't know. Might be you get into a relationship, within a week you might get breakup. Within a week a breakup might happen. But only thing that you can understand or you will realize is how can you accept that rejections. And I think something. So fitness and gym should, not only gym, but I think you should always have one support system within yourself that will help you to explore more about yourself. For me, it has been morely like chill with friends, because when I feel low, I have my friend, I have other friends, so I just come spend time. That 1 hour that I spend with these guys, I feel like that entire day has made me happy, even though it's gone like full rock bottom down.
When you spoke about like self-love, I think that's one thing that a lot of people, like you said, they're very insecure about themselves. They hate themselves. A lot of people hate themselves. Like, why am I like this? Why is my body like this? Why can't I emotionally regulate myself? Right? And I feel like you said, just spending some time with your friends every day, even if it's half an hour or 1 hour, really helps you ground yourself. Right? And regulate emotionally. It helps you vent. Just talking to a friend for like a half an hour, 1 hour can really make you feel a lot better. And a lot of people don't do that nowadays because they feel, how can I show emotional vulnerability? Right? Like, how can I show that I'm also like, especially guys feel like I can't open myself emotionally. They might think that they're weak if they, talk about their emotions or talk about, how something affected them. I mean, it's happened to me as well. So I'm saying, like, I feel more people should focus on, like you said, self-love, talking to their friends, going to the gym, taking care of their nutrition, diet. I think all of these things are very important because most people, they forget it. Whenever something happens, they forget about themselves, right? And only when you are strong, when you're healthy, can you love somebody. Like, when you love yourself, only then you can love somebody else. And that's the truth, right? If you don't love yourself, there's no way that you can love anybody else, right? Sure. Whether it's your family, your friend, or whoever it is, right?
That's true. And I think we went on a serious note. Now we'll switch the track back to the most comic shit. Trish, any question that you have?
What are some mythbusters? Like, something early 20s,
Yeah. So the biggest myth, like I said, is people think, they'll figure it out in their 20s. No. That is the biggest myth. You will never figure it out in life, guys. Let me tell you. Parents say like, finish your college, you'll get a job, right? In your 20s. Then, you'll get married, you'll figure it out, things will get sorted. And no, that's not true.
Marriage is when it starts.
Yeah, exactly. Marriage. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, you will never figure your life out. It's a constant process, right? Do you think your parents have figured it out? My parents haven't. Still now they're thinking, 60s also, they're like, oh, what should I do next?
Ambanis haven't figured it out.
Nobody has figured it out. That's the thing. Like, I realized that whether it's at work, I see people, who I thought before, like, oh, these guys are so amazing, right? They have an amazing job. He has everything that I want. He must have figured it out. No. They're still trying to do better, right? They're still trying to learn things and they're still trying to, build on whatever they have. So you'll never truly figure it out. That's the biggest myth of your 20s. Second thing I would say is you learn, like I said, more about yourself than anything else, right? And I think you have to invest emotionally in yourself. People think 20s is about like having fun, going out, and no, that's not it. It's more about learning about yourself. That's
what about getting into a relationship in early 20s? What would you say?
So I think the relationships in general in your 20s, I feel like it depends for what you're looking for, because nowadays I feel like some people, they are looking for a relationship, some people just want to have some fun, casual relationship or situationship or whatever you want to call it, a hookup, right? So it depends on what you want, and I think that's what, like I said, right, you figure yourself out what you want, right? So I think 20s is a great time to explore and see, date people, get to know more people, right? Because usually I see people, they're just stuck with like, oh, I like this person, I'm not gonna like date anyone else.
Question is,
right?
does she likes you?
That I mean, I'm not sure, like, if she like yeah, maybe she does.
After 1 year, she's like, I don't like you. So it's like,
that's true. You can go through a lot of shit, like emotionally.
As a man, we get attached to people and a lot of things. We don't.
Definitely. You do get attached, and I think that's the thing, like everyone's exploring in their 20s, like girls and guys. So you don't really know what you're looking for. What kind of girl do I like? If I ask you, like, do you have a particular type? You don't know. You're still figuring it out. In your 20s, you're figuring out what kind of person do I like? What kind of person do I don't like? What do I not want in a person? So I think that's why what I would say is, explore, like try to go out with people, figure out what you like. Because that was my problem. I didn't know what kind of person I like or what I'm looking for in a person. Right? I was a little confused. So when you yourself are confused of what you want or what you want in a person, then it's very tough, right? So I think that's one thing about relationships that I would say, like. And one more thing is, like, I mean, talking about my parents, like, because I mean, it's getting a little serious again, but like I figured out in my 20s that I see my parents getting older, and that's very scary.
Scary.
That's very scary, because it's like I've never seen them like this before. They've always been that pillar for me, and now I'm becoming that pillar, and they're getting older, and I'm just like looking at them grow like slightly older every day. It's something that emotionally it impacts me. It's kind of scary. Like I get anxiety, like thinking what's gonna happen next, right? So that, and they keep saying like, hey, what, we're not going to be here forever and stuff like that. So it's like, what the
I think
hell?
it was very like normal when they used to say when we were young. Like,
But we didn't care, right? But now it's hitting. It's like,
now we can see it happen.
exactly. And that's one thing that I think impacted me in my 20s a lot. Especially my early to mid 20s, right? Seeing them get old and, and emotionally also maturing at the same time, right? And I actually started like seeing life from their perspective more. Because when I was young, I didn't really care, right? What they thought. But now I start seeing like what they would have gone through, how their childhood was, right? Their issues, their traumas, right? So yeah, but again, because you said relationships, because I think that's very important. And friendships also, like I feel like as you get older, in your 20s, you start losing more friends than gaining.
I have like 5 handful of friends.
Right? I'm sure like every year you're going to be losing that. It might be one friend, or you might not. So that's the thing. And that's why people, try to make more friends. They try to kind of force it, I feel, in their 20s by going to clubs or on apps, dating apps, trying to hang out more. Because, you're losing friends, man. Every year, right, in your 20s, you're not going to make more friends. You're going to lose more friends. And that's a bad thing, because, we just spoke about how you need people to emotionally regulate, and you need someone to talk to, right? And it's going to get very tough, right, as time goes by. And that's where, I feel like your family really is there for you as your, like your backbone throughout your journey, where you'll always have this person to talk to. So I think at the same time, as you're developing a relationship with a family, be patient, right? Pick and choose your friends very carefully. Don't try to force anything. Don't try to force a friendship. Don't try to force a connection with a, person in a relationship, because that it can be very, I mean, you might be motivated to do so. Because you see all these people, hey, they're going partying, they have so many friends, they have so many girlfriends, hey, this guy knows 10, 20, but don't force it, man, because that's not you. Don't try to be that other person.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? You broke up, let me try to rebound and, like force another. That's not your 20s. Like I said, right? Don't try to force connections. And it is normal to lose friends as you get older. Completely normal, like, as you get like older and older. So that's, you guys should know that, people are in early 20s expect to lose friends.
Is there like any part of your life where you felt like you are self-doubting on yourself, kind of a thing? And there's also one more additional question to the self-doubt, because in the early 20s, you're getting into a new job, and you always tend to be like a guy who is always nice, because you want your attentions to come around you. Like, you want to show them that, yeah, I'm doing hard work. Whatever task you give me, I'll do it. Even though I skip my family time, I skip my meals, I still want to do it, because I just want to be good in everyone's book.
Like people pleasing, like it's like you please people thinking they see the effort you're putting in, but end of the day they don't see what effort you're doing.
In Tamil, there's a saying like, "Nallavana iru, romba nallavana irukada." It's like, be good guy, but don't be like a too good guy kind of a thing. Because often when you're too good at anything, to people especially, they tend to use you up. How did you overcome those things?
That's a great point that you brought up, Hari. So when I think back, especially my early to mid 20s, I did doubt myself a lot, because, like I said, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if what I was doing was good, if I can do better or not. And I had something to prove. I think in your 20s, you have something to prove to the world, that I can do it. And in that pressure that you have to prove something, you might do too much. Extra, more than what you have to, especially at a job. Right? You might be like, I have to prove this to the world that, I can do good. I have to prove it to my boss, to my parents, to my friends. Right? There's a competition as well. Like, everyone's so competitive, right? In their 20s, like, you want to be that guy who gets the nice car, or who wants to buy a house, or who wants to, whatever it is, right? Whatever your goal is, you're competing. So you have something to prove, and in that pressure, you like sometimes overextend yourself, right? And what you have to understand is, like you said, because you brought up job, is people like your boss, right? Like you said, they want work to be done. They want to get their work done, right? And for you, it's I have something to prove, right? I have something to show, right? So they sometimes take advantage of that fact that you have something to prove, and you might they might give you more work, or they might try to get you to do more, which is completely normal, right? It does tend to happen. I've done that as well. Like, I've literally pushed myself to the limit at my previous job where I used to work at Amazon for nothing, and at the end of the day, I didn't get anything out of it except a lesson. A lesson that, right, focus on yourself as well at the same time. Don't just focus on the job that you're doing. And the most important lesson that I learned is love your job, don't love your company.
Oh, nice.
Right? Because I made that mistake where I started loving my company. I'm like, oh my God, Amazon. Or, wherever you're working, you start loving that company. You start loving your boss. No, they're not your friend, they're your colleague.
You're making money for them. Like, he's gonna be benefited by that. No?
Exactly. I mean, see, you get the benefit as well. But the problem is, if you start loving your boss or you start loving your company, you might end up, doing too much where you're not required to. So, love your job, right? Have your options open. And don't be scared. I used to be very scared. I used to think, like, in my early 20s, what if I quit my job? I used to be in a corporate job. I used to work a corporate job for Amazon. I worked there 4.5 years. I used to think, like, what if I quit? Can I make it in any other industry? Will I even get a good job? Will I get a better salary if I quit? What if I have all those doubts. I started self-doubting, like you said. Like, I had a lot of doubts about myself. But at some point, I realized if I don't jump, if I don't make this move, I'm going to regret it when in my future. I'm definitely going to regret it, right? If I don't make this jump. So I just made it, and that's why I'm at Livizia. I'm a fitness coach right now, and I wouldn't, in my wildest dreams, I'd never think that I would do fitness coaching as a job. Like, I would have never imagined. Like, if you told me, like, you would be a fitness coach, I'd laugh at you. Like, even like maybe 3 years ago. Like, so it's just to be a hobby for me, right? Something that I used to do for myself, for my peace of mind, for my mental health. So, yeah, like I said, love your job, not your company. And at the same time, it's okay to doubt yourself. But it's also okay to take a risk. Be okay with taking a risk. Because at some point in your 20s, you will have to take a risk and do something crazy. Right? That will come. That moment will come, guys, and do it. It's fine. It's a learning. You'll either learn something or, you'll do really well. So it's fine. Either way.
Okay. Since you brought about regret also, I just want to ask you one more thing. What is the one biggest thing that you till day regret?
I think biggest regret for me is, first thing would be, in my 20s or even teenagers, I feel like I was very insecure about myself. So I used to have like these huge crushes on certain girls, like in my college. I couldn't talk to them because I was so, like, scared. I was so nervous, and I feel like we would have had something good. Like, it's just a feeling, it's an intuition, but I never acted on it.
Okay.
Right? So I feel like I should have just taken that chance, and maybe it would have worked, maybe it wouldn't have, but I would have learned something from it.
I think adding to that, for a man, love is, I think every man has to experience love. It's beautiful to experience love. Whether it ends up with a heartbreak or doesn't
Or a
work
lesson.
out. Yeah, lesson. I think that phase is something you have to go through. Enjoy it, knowing, not worrying about the outcome. Like, that's what I believe.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think, that's one of the biggest things, not to have fully loved somebody, or like tried to, because I was scared of, what if I fall in love and really like someone, and what if I, get into depression or fucking have a crazy heartbreak, right? I think, I never truly loved anybody, I feel like, till now, like, because I was just fucking scared, to be honest. Yeah, I wish I had taken more risks when it comes to my relationship, taken more risks when it comes to my job as well. Right? I feel that's another big regret. I feel like I kind of stuck to my job, even though a lot of times I feel I could have done better. I could have looked for better. But I just stuck around because I was, worried, like, what if I quit? What if, I don't get something better? Right? because it's very scary, right? You start doubting yourself. So I think that's another regret. I should have just said fuck it, and just like quit and done something else, right? Yeah. So I think those are the two biggest regrets that I have. Okay, that's it. Maybe spend more time with my parents. Yeah, that might have been the third thing. I think I should have given a little bit more time to my parents where I didn't. It's fine, I guess. Now, I mean, I can always make up for it now, but.
Now, if you tell him to go speak to a random stranger, he'll be okay with it. But for me, if you tell me to go speak to a random stranger, I'll be like thinking, why? Should I go speak or how do I approach them? I have this fear of judgment. And that always will be there in your 20s, I felt. And how do you overcome that?
Very good question, man. And I, being the biggest introvert, can say that number one for me was that I was scared to open up to people. Right? I was scared because I thought like no one would understand me if I opened up, and I was scared that people would judge me, right? And I was just worried that I wouldn't be as cool, like because everyone used to think I'm this cool guy because I never spoke much, right? Oh, mysterious, like that aura. So I was like, I have to keep this up. I can't let this break, because that's the only thing I have going for me. You know what I mean? And if I stop, that was when I was a teenager. But in my 20s, what happened was, I think at some point, because you're working with people. In 20s you start like jobs. Usually people start working in their 20s. So you have to interact with people. You don't have a choice, right? And I think through these interactions with people you start opening up more. Because you're forced to be vulnerable. You're forced to put yourself out there. Right? So one advice that I would give to people in their 20s who are finding it hard is put yourself in the most uncomfortable situation as much as possible. To get over the fear of judgment, you have to be judged, right? So you need to let people judge you. Like, you know how I talk to you, right? I talk to you about the most random stuff. Yes. Right? So I just started talking to people about the most random things. And I'm like, judge me. So I kept trying to get people to judge me because I'm like, I want to know what people think about me. Right? And once they think something about me, I try to change that by, just talking about more random shit. That's what I do. Just randomly make conversation with people like Hari did, right? Just talk to people about whatever you want to talk about, your interests, their interests, right? And make it silly, make it funny, right? Throw some jokes in there. And like I said, it's a process, right? It's not going to happen overnight. People think overnight I'll become an extrovert. No, it takes years. It takes years of you, working on yourself, working with people, talking to people, making a fool of yourself, getting judged. It's a process, guys. So be patient. Okay, if there's somebody who's trying to, transition into an extrovert, I should use that word. Yeah, but yeah, like just be patient and put yourself into, like I said, take risks, talk to random people, yeah, and make conversations, right? And be yourself. More than anything, like Hari said, don't be scared to be yourself. Like I was very scared initially because of judgment, and honestly, after I stopped giving a fuck, like I don't care what you think about me, I just started, I became liberated. Like I was like, just talk about whatever, do whatever. So yeah, those are my.
If you had a chance, what would be your advice for the 20-year-old Subir?
Slow it down. Just take it slow. Take your time. Don't try to rush anything. Because I think at that time in my early 20s, I wanted to rush. Make more money, do this, do that course, get better at that. Get more friends, go out, do this. I was in a rush. I was in a panic. It's like so many things to do. I'm like, slow it down. Take it a day at a time. That's what I would tell myself. Like honestly, there is no rush in life, right? Life is a very beautiful thing, and the slower you go about it, the better. And in today's life, I think it's become too fast, right? Where we don't even have enough time to talk to each other. Like, talk to people. You have to get on a podcast to fucking talk to each other. That's how bad it is, guys. So slow it the fuck down.
I've heard like a lot of friends or like so many of them, like whoever I meet, they often tell that I'm depressed. But in actual, it might be they're just sad. But now depression has become like a common word kind of a thing that be it for small things, people get depressed. What exactly is depression from your point of view?
So depression is basically, the clinical term, right, where you're not able to function everyday life, like you're just frozen. Basically, that's what I would say. When you're depressed, you can't even get off your bed, like you're literally stuck there. You don't want to live life. Really. You can't see a future. You can't see tomorrow. You just can't see tomorrow. And I feel like you're right that a lot of people, I feel like they're not able to kind of regulate their emotions, or they don't understand their emotions, and they just label it as depression. I'm depressed. But actually it's something else. Maybe like you said, you're just having a tough time, and you're not able to cope with it. You're not able to talk about it. I think that's another thing that I spoke about, that people are not able to talk to people nowadays because everyone's busy. You're busy with your job. You're busy with your work. Parents, I don't know what, maybe I can't talk to them. Maybe I can about certain topics. So I feel like because people are not able to talk about their emotions more, they're not able to express their emotions more, they are feeling like it's bottled inside, and they're not able to describe that bottling of emotions properly. You know what I mean? They're not able, and that they call it depression. I'm not able to. Yeah. So you need to. You know what I mean? They need to let out their emotions. How I do it? Let me, for an example, I like to go to the gym and have a kick-ass workout. I like to listen to like heavy metal, death metal, and like really feel the music. Feel what I'm feeling. A lot of people tend to ignore their emotions, I feel, nowadays, because there's no time for emotions, right? Now, go do your job, come back, go meet. Like, there's no time. People are not spending enough time with themselves. They're not getting enough time off from work, right? They're not getting enough time to basically understand what they're going through emotionally. And I think that's a problem.
And also, do you think depression is a choice?
No, I definitely don't think that it's a choice. I feel like there are people who, I don't think anyone chooses to be depressed. I feel people misunderstand depression, but at the same time, I don't think anyone chooses to be depressed. Like, it happens. It can happen to anyone at any time. That is also true. But you can prevent it. I believe it can be prevented. How do you prevent it? One of the ways is have a support system. A support system of friends, support system of your family, support system. Support yourself through self-development, self-love, like Hari put it, right? So, I think that definitely prevents depression, right? To a large extent. You can't 100% prevent it, but yeah, like, this is some of the things that will help. So, yeah.
Is there any moment in your life that you didn't give a fuck about what others are thinking about yourself and you just try to be yourself?
I think that's been very recent. I would say about 1 year ago I stopped giving a fuck. When I was 27, 28 maybe, yeah. Okay. Around that time. Because I realized that nobody cares. That's what I realized. First I used to think, oh, the world revolves around me. Everybody cares. Everyone's watching me. Everyone's like basically zoned in on me. But the truth is nobody gives a fuck what you do. You think anyone will care if you succeeded or you failed or what you did? Nobody cares, man. Like, end of the day, you have to give a fuck about yourself and you have to care about what you're doing. And when you realize that nobody gives a fuck about you, that's when you stop giving a fuck about anyone else or everything else, right? That's when you really you're like, dude, I'm just gonna do whatever, right? So I think that came recently, honestly, that about a year ago, I guess, maybe.
And how was your feel after that?
I felt like there was a big pressure lifted off my back. I had the pressure of, what will people think? What will my parents say? What will relatives think? Like, when I became a fitness coach, I used to think my parents didn't want me to do this. They were like, this is a hobby. It's not a career, right? It's not something that you can base your life on. My relatives were like, what the fuck? You had a decent job in Amazon, just do that. Now, why did you have to go to fitness, right? My friends also, my friends actually had a lot of faith. I think they thought this is cool, I should definitely do it. So yeah, I think, if I have to get a little personal, my ex-girlfriend at the time, we were together for a year, on and off. But she also doubted me, dude. At some point she asked me is this what you want to do? You want to be a coach, a fitness coach? What if things get serious between us? You think her parents would be okay with it? If things get serious, to the next level. And that, I was I never thought like that, and I was fuck, this is what So I was why should I care? This is my life. It's my fucking career. I don't give a fuck about what your parents think, or what you think, or what your friends think about me, right? Because you guys just want to comment and say something for the heck of it. Yeah. But do you really care about me? Do your friends really care about me? Do your parents really care about me? No. Do you care about me? Maybe sometime, maybe not, sometimes no. So why should I? That's why I think self-love is the highest form of love that you can give to yourself, right? So, yeah, like that. That's when I stopped giving a fuck. I started loving myself more. I stopped giving a fuck of what people thought.
What is the future of Subir gonna be? Has Subir, has Subir thought something about his future?
Right now, the plan is to take it one day at a time, because I feel whether it's fitness or any field, it's evolving very fast now. It's very dynamic. You see, suddenly, one day AI can come and take your job away. Tomorrow, AI coaches can happen and my job might be gone. Your job might be gone. So, my advice to people now, I think the young teenagers or people in their 20s, is that take it slowly, because things are changing very fast and you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So you can't have a long-term plan. I feel having a long-term plan is the worst thing that you can do, because things are changing so fast. Have you not realized, guys? We change our phone every few months. We change our job we change our girlfriend every month or 2 months, or how can you have a 5-year plan? Right? How can you? I don't think it's a good plan to have a 5-year plan. I think you should take it a day at a time. Try to improve yourself a little bit every day and have different skill sets. That's very important. I think I see a Subir who has 5-6 different skill sets.
Yep.
Because I don't know tomorrow if fitness will be a viable option for me. Right? I might have to get into astrology tomorrow. I'm really good at astrology, by the way. I'm just saying, guys. I might become an astrologer tomorrow. Or I might become something in gaming tomorrow. Right? So you need to have different skill sets. Don't just be like, oh, I'm going to do only content. Because tomorrow AI might be making content better than you. It might be doing things, somebody might be doing the job for half the rate that you're doing, and you might lose your job. That's the reality for a lot of people. A lot of people lost their jobs. Right? Engineers and such, like IT, right?
So you're basically trying to tell, also keep a backup.
Have a backup plan. Have a plan and have multiple backup plans, not just one. Yeah, like have a girlfriend and have a few side chicks. No, guys, don't do that. I'm just kidding. But all I'm saying is build multiple skill sets and go with the flow. I feel like it's a world where you can't be very rigid now. If you're very rigid, if you're not very good with tech, right? If you're not evolving, it's going to be very difficult for you, right? You'll be stuck. You'll feel very stuck. So you have to have a very many short-term plans. Right? If this doesn't work, I'll do this. If it doesn't work, I'll do this. I'll do that. Small short-term plans. Don't have. That's the Subir that I see. Different skill sets. Very interesting, right? Maybe people won't tell you that. People will tell, have 5-year plan, 10-year plan. No, that's a wrong thing. My perspective is, don't do that. That's the biggest mistake that you can make.
Cool. Okay.
One, I think the last question, not a question, maybe it's like one quote for the day that you follow, something like one-liner or something that inspires you.
Yeah, that always runs behind your mind.
Or something you want to create
there is
now.
that
Okay.
Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, the boxer.
Come on.
Boxer.
Yes.
Okay.
He says, all work is easy work. What does that mean? Well, it means that do your work so well, become so good at your work that it becomes easy. That it doesn't even feel like it. That means you need to up your game so much that it's like a breeze. You don't even have to try. That is why he became the best boxer, right? He's never lost 50-0, most paid boxer, right? Piscean as well. Yeah, but that's what I really like. That really hit me, because I was like, first I thought it's just, all the work that you do is very easy. No, but you be so good at your job that it becomes easy. Whatever it is, whether with your relationships, your jobs, keep working on it hard. Keep trying to improve yourself every day. All work is what? Easy work. That's the quote for the...
Yeah, I think we didn't cover one topic, was about finance. How to manage your finance in your 20s. That is the biggest topic, because...
Don't have a girlfriend. That's it, guys. If you want to manage your finances in your 20s, don't have a girlfriend. Stay single. That's it. Simple.
Yeah, I think we are done with the podcast.